Hey, what's up, guys? So I know I haven't really done a build in a long time, but I kind of wanted to take a moment and just one record this video more for just again for the sense of documentation to have it in the future. Um, so this past year with the drone company, I personally have learned several valuable lessons. So to give a kind of highlight, so the company will finish right around between $65 to $75,000 in revenue for our second year. Obviously, it's an improvement from the first year. So this year, a couple things we learned is one, we started to actually get focused. Um, we had a couple, we had a couple projects come through that were funded for development, and we really started to hone into what we want to do with drones. Drones, it's a very broad topic, and for a long time, and for most of the year, up until the last few months of the year, we chased a lot of squirrels and spent a lot of money, probably close to upwards of 60. This basically all the revenue we made this year we spent on chasing squirrels, and by squirrels I mean chasing things all over the board, and it cost us a lot of money, and it created a lot of additional stress above and beyond just trying to create a company. Um, and doing it part-time. We chased doing flights and photography, we chased doing inspections, we chased building robots, we chased building these custom drones, we chased consulting, we chased all various things, and we didn't really have a concrete plan or a concrete problem that we were trying to solve. We had a couple large projects fall apart, one with a large I wouldn't necessarily say fall apart. The relationships are still there. Nothing ended on bad terms, but things didn't pan out the way that we had expected them to. One was with a utility that was a strategic partnership, and that one might come back around in a year or two. Not might, it will come back around a year or two. We were just a little bit too far ahead with what the goal was or what the ambition was for where all the pieces were. Obviously, not diving into too much detail. And then the other one was with a large airport, which just decided to go the route of working with the university. But the university obviously isn't a commercial partner, so there's hope that they will come back in the future. So those are a couple of things. The biggest things we learned is one is we chased way too many, I guess what we called them was squirrels, chasing things here and there, and you end up just burning through cash very quickly. And the part that's frustrating, to be completely honest, is I have been told about this problem from learning from other companies and watching other companies in general and other drone companies and talking to people have made this mistake, and we made it ourselves, and that's frustrating. And that's at the end of the day, that's on me. I definitely was one of the drivers behind chasing many objects, and it's hard. You get really excited. You think everything's quick money or fast money, and it's just not. It's just fucking not. And hopefully by making this video as someone who's 24 going through it, it's a little bit more value than when I talk about this in the future when I'm 34 and successful. Hopefully it's a little bit more valuable in a sense, which is really the only reason why I'm making this video. I don't want to put a ton into production, but I want to have this to point to. And then beyond that, the other thing we learned is I need to do a better job of managing. I've struggled to manage projects. I personally have failed to manage projects, failed to manage budget, failed to manage to-do lists and actionable items of what needs done this week, what needs done next week. And again, that goes back to the whole chasing squirrels, and it's really shot us in the foot. Luckily, both of the founders, Rob and myself, we are employed, and we were able to keep generating. So we were able to replenish our cash flow through our own personal revenue. So personally, between the two of us, we probably invested over 6 figures at this point. So overall, the investment for us has been a loss, but it's still very early. So I guess that's at a high level, some of the things, and things are frustrating, but we've just got done doing some planning for 2019, and it looks like if we stay focused and stay not chasing squirrels, we should be on target to do $250,000 to $500,000 in revenue with a couple of the products we have, and that's making some conservative assumptions. That's assuming that we don't sell a lot of what we've developed, which is probably wrong. It's definitely going to be a wrong assumption. So those are some of the bright sides looking up, and we've had to postpone development of certain things. Again, postpone development of some of those squirrels until we have the cash flow and we have some other people that can help us implement and manage that stuff. I've never built software from scratch. I'm going to take what we have built so far and I'm going to try and get out there and for the people that I have relationships with and test it. I have some ideas on things that we can improve and we can do better, but at the end of the day, I just have to I need to get out there and do a better job of selling what we have. And personally, and to be honest, I have failed at that, and that's on me. But growing as a leader, even just between me and Rob and having a couple people that we've had, I guess, quote unquote, sub-consultant or subcontractors or whatever you want to call them, friends, help us and work with us on building things. We just have a lot of things that are half-baked that are halfway developed. And they're halfway developed, they kind of show promise, but they're not fully developed yet to where someone would exchange money for it. And that's kind of frustrating. And that goes back to the squirrel conversation. So, those at a high level are the things we've learned. So 2019 will be a lot better of a year. It would be foolish not to. The goals that we have are to pay off all the debts and turn a profit this year and have ideally we'll have 6+ figures in the bank, and we're just going to sit on it for right now. Right now, as I record this, we do not know exactly where is the intelligent way to deploy it, and we would like to sit on it until the market collapses, and then a lot of talent will come free when a lot of the companies that are venture backed go under because they're no longer getting funding. There'll be a lot of talent that we can get relatively cheaply. So that on the bright side, some of the things we've done is, one, we have paying customers. We have paying customers, which is the number one problem of a company, is to get someone to see value in your skills and give you money for those skills or the thing you are doing. And we've achieved that. We've been paid to do R&D, which is rare. We haven't just been paid for a final product. We've been paid to develop a final product, and we are still developing that final product. And for one customer in particular, we've done such a good job that we have increased into getting into a retainer situation, which is awesome. And we'll be building into a software as a service, and that future right there is looking very bright. And we also haven't taken on funding. We've taken on funding, and yes, we have procured a few loans from a bank. We haven't lost equity in the company, which is on that side, that's the bright side. We still own 100% of the company. So those are some of the things at a high level that I've learned from my second year running a drone company and running a company in general. Still fully employed, and I fully expect to utilize the internet to even more deadly capability in the coming year, and just need to keep putting my head down and focusing.